to you.
Thank you, mate.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
It's obviously been a pretty full-on start for you the first couple of weeks. It's about to get even more crazy this weekend. How much are you looking forward to it? What have you been told to expect from the fixture?
I'm really looking forward to the game. I think everybody is since the draw come out, and obviously I've arrived into the club after the draw was made, but you could feel the anticipation building, and now we're finally at game week. I think on both sides everyone's looking forward to the game. It's the first derby in 7 years, which is far too long, isn't it? And I think it's the beauty of the FA Cup that's brought the game for everybody, and it's one that everyone in the nation will be watching, so it's a great game to be involved in for sure.
You said on your first day here that you'd spent the first sort of 48 hours going around speaking to all the staff, some of the staff who've been here for a long time, just to try and find out about the club. I guess you've been asking them about this fixture as well, and if that is the case, what have they had to say?
Well, just it's a fixture that captivates everybody in the North East, but more than that, I think everyone in the country. It's a huge fixture. We love our derbies, just in general in English football, but I think in this part of the world, as I say, to only have one in the last 7 years, so it's great to have it. We need to be at our very best. There's obviously a difference between the two teams at the moment, and those 7 years have been different for both clubs, haven't they, in terms of the ups and downs. So as we arrive into the game, it's intriguing with our very young squad, ambitious team going up against a Champions League team this season. It's a fantastic game for the neutral as well.
Is there a feeling within the club? I know it's been over 7 years since you last faced each other, but 9 matches unbeaten for Sunderland in the fixture, even though you're obviously in different divisions now. Is there a feeling within the club that Sunderland have got the Indian side over Newcastle and have done for some time?
That's not something that's been put at me. I think we just have to take each game as it goes. I think that we're, as a football club and our young players, we're really ambitious, and we're playing against a very good team first and foremost, but we are playing for our fans and for our city. So it's really important that we put that into the performance in terms of our focus, our concentration, our quality. We know it's going to be a really tough game, but it's at our stadium with our fans behind us. There's everything to like about this game.
You've had your fair share of experiences of red hot derbies up in Scotland with Rangers Celtic over the last few years. Where do you expect it to be in comparison?
Well, the fact that it's the first one in 7 years, I expect it to be similar to the build-up in the week that I've had there many a time, and I'm sure in the fans are going to bring colour to the fixture as well in the stands. The energy will go onto the pitch, and I'm really looking forward to it. The team is as well. Like as I say, we've had 4 games in 10 days over a busy Christmas and festive period, but now that's out the way. This was always in the back of our minds, and now we can get our teeth into it.
Is there any sort of experiences, anything that you learned from your time in Glasgow in the derby days that you'll take from this, that you'll lean on going into this fixture on Saturday?
I think you just focus on yourself and the work that you're doing. We've got a really good, young, ambitious team that's doing well in the Championship, and it's important that we bring the best version of ourselves, and that the focus very much this week is on our team and the way that we play, knowing that we're playing against a good team. But it's important you lean on the good work that's being done in this building, and you focus on trying to play your game and obviously playing the game that's in front of you. It's a fantastic occasion, as I say, for it to be the first one in 7 years. Is these group of players on both sides, because there's been many before them over the last 7 years that have not had the privilege of playing in it. So it's important we respect the derby, but we also play our normal game.
Just finally for me, you touched on it there, but obviously got off to a bad start with the defeat to Coventry, but the players have knuckled down. You've done well, unbeaten in 3 now. You're getting to know the club. How pleased are you with that reaction, and does that hold you in good stead going into the weekend?
Coming out of the the festive period, it was really important we remained in the playoff positions. You can see how tight the Championship is, and so to come out of it and have the next 2 weeks before we go to Ipswich in those positions, it enabled us to focus on this game with a calmness in the air. I think the response from the players has been fantastic to the change, obviously with Mike Dodds taking over for a couple of games, then myself coming in. There's been a lot around the players, and I think they've really done well. you could see a bit of tiredness in the air at the end of the game with Preston, but I thought the 2 goals we scored were fantastic. So we're in a good place. We can park the league and really get our, as I say, our focus on this one.
Thanks,
Michael, hi. Adam Bell, Liverpool. I was just wondering how you think, given the good run of form you've had since you took over, say for the first game, how that is changing perceptions, fan perceptions about you as a coach.
And I think there's many more days and matches to come before the perception will be set one way or another. I think the most important thing is there was a strong alignment between me, the owner, all the way through to the current staff that were taking the team. So it's been seamless in that sense, me coming into work. A lot of the important conversations and clarity was done beforehand. And I think it's early days. As I say, it's been 2 weeks since I took the job. A lot's happened. I'm about to go into another whirlwind week now with a fantastic game at the end of it. The focus has got to be on our young team and our young players. There's a lot of ambition in our dressing room of players that want to go and play in the Premier League and Champions League, where they're coming up against a team at the weekend that has been heavily invested in for that and has played in the Champions League this season as well. So what an opportunity it is for those young players to go and get feedback, and the fact that we can go and do our fans proud in this game. It's a fantastic cup tie, I think. You know, a lot said about the FA Cup, but games like this really do remind us of how special it can be.
Thanks. Any more broadcast questions?
Can I just ask you one, it's a little bit more off topic, Michael, I was going to leave it till the end. Wayne Rooney lasted just, I think it was 83 days at Birmingham, which shows just how difficult management is and trying to get off to a good start. Do you feel for him, and do you understand what he must be going through, having sort of been sacked so soon after taking over?
Yeah, look, you never like to see a manager lose their job, and obviously to gain a job, some good man loses it before you take it. And I think it's hard to know the circumstances of each club, why you go in, what your remit is, the clarity you're given. So no one really understands what's gone on in the club other than the people that were there. But it's never nice to see. Obviously, there's been a lot of noise around the club, which I'm sure has not been helpful to him and his staff as well. And I'm sure Wayne will bounce back. You know, he's proven that time and again in his playing career, and he's had some tough jobs already. If you think about the job that he had at Derby, where I thought he did very well.
Michael, just wanted to ask what team news is for Saturday's game. How's Patrick Roberts doing after Monday's match?
Patrick's a big doubt for the game. We'll make a call later in the week, but at the moment he would be a doubt. So we're no change from the weekend. We didn't come out of the weekend with any more problems.
Okay, and just looking ahead to Saturday's game, obviously you've touched on it there being quite a big one. What's the mood in the dressing room been like, especially after this hectic festive period?
Well, it's the first day. We had a part yesterday over the festive period. We was together a lot with those 4 games, so we took a deep breath after the 4 games in 10 days, and we had our first chat this morning towards the game at the weekend. Everyone's optimistic and looking forward to it. As I think the whole nation is, not just the people in the North East, you know, not just the fans of the 2 clubs. I think when this tie come out, it's definitely for me the tie of the round, and it's one to really for everyone to look forward to, and not just the players.
And as well, how do you kind of manage the players? Like you said before, it's quite a young squad. It's been 7 years since the last derby. I mean, what's the message going into such a massive game like this with, you know, maybe a bit of inexperience within the squad?
We've got to be the best version of ourselves and trust the work that you've been doing. There's a reason why we're riding high in the Championship. There's a reason why we've had the good results the team's had over the last couple of months. So there's a lot of good work going on, and take the emotion out of it as much as you can and play the game that's in front of you. You know, we've got, as I say, young players in our squad that I think are showing up really well at the moment. This is a great opportunity for them to go and show again against a team, obviously, that may not have had perfect results of late, but let's not fool ourselves. This Newcastle squad is a very good one.
Thank you, all the best.
Thank you.
Michael, just checking, had the draw been made when you got the job? I can't remember the...
Yeah, it had already been made, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah. So what was was this one of the fixtures that you kind of sort of ringed in the calendar and thought this is something we would really look forward to?
Oh yeah, listen, as I say, like for there not to be one for 7 years for both managers and sets of players, we're the fortunate ones. There's been many before us that over the last 7 years that haven't had this opportunity. So I'd be lying to say it wasn't in the background or even spoken about in my first couple of days, and I've been reminded of it everywhere I've been since I've been here. But now it's here, 3 or 4 days away, we can, you know, get really focused on it. I think the relentlessness of the Championship's meant, you know, that's been a good distraction for us so far.
And do you feel, I know obviously we've mentioned Newcastle playing in the Champions League this season and the standard of their player, but do you feel you're perhaps getting a good time, given the fact that they've lost, I think, 7 of the last 8, they've got quite a few injury problems themselves?
I think this is the first week where they've had a chance to take a deep breath as well. I think they've been playing, you know, 3 games a week, which is different for that squad than maybe previous years. So that's took its toll for sure, and like it does on many a squad that have European football and the domestic stuff off the back of it. I think our focus is on ourselves. I think it would be wrong of us and to look at the team they put out against Liverpool to think it's going to be anything other than a really tough game.